What's up, Mike?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
McFarlandFishing.com, Michael McFarland. You guys see this guy with me on the live streams and at the seminars all the time. I probably spend more time with this guy one-on-one than any other guide, and yet he never comes film with me. Do you not like me or something?
Bruh. No reason at all. Just probably busy.
Yep.
You know, it was a good spring.
Yep. Good spring. We're at a new lake today. We're going to come check out a new lake. It's August, guys. It's August in Texas. Texas gets kind of tough sometimes, and when you get one chance a week to film, you got to make it. You got to hit it.
Yeah. We want to give you some footage.
So what do? We come to a lake that neither one of you've never fished it. I've never been here this time of year. I've only fished this lake in the winter. It is a power plant lake. It is in East Texas, but I have no clue. So we're going to be experimenting today.
It'll be pretty cool.
Big
what
experiment.
I like to do the most.
A lot of grass, a lot of clear water. So we're going to grind on them. I have not been here since December. It was the last time I was on this lake. So we'll see what happens.
Ain't scared. That's what I like to do the most, is to go learn something about it. You don't grow as a fisherman unless you go somewhere where you don't know. We're
going to take you guys along for the ride. We're going to break it down step by step. We'll tell you the details on every fish catch, what our thought process was, help you guys get some insight into what we look at and what we think of when we're trying to break down a new body of water, because that's what this basically is to us. It is to you. You've never been here, So we're going to go grind away on a hot August day. It's not too bad this morning. It feels pretty good.
Gorgeous.
It's going to get hot soon, though, and we're going to get out here and see if we can't find some big old grass pigs. I know this lake's got big fish.
Big ones in grass.
We're going to hunt for them. Y'all stay tuned.
Grass and bass.
Look at McFarlandFishing.com.
Come here,
on the
baby!
first tag. That's a tag.
Woo!
Come on, Kathy. Come on.
Got her.
Oh, we got her on the
Keep it down, keep it down. Oh, she's a 10, bro. Bring it to me, Rob. We got her, buddy.
All right, guys, showing you the first thing that we're going to look at. We're going to identify the grass line right here. This is a point that comes out into the main lake, and that I know of from the past times when I fished here. And I want to know what the depth of my grasses are. So I'm going to go across this point where the depth will change quickly, and it'll show me a pretty clear idea. Should show me a pretty clear idea of where the grass line is. This lake's notorious for having a lot of grass, a lot of hydrilla. Has hydrilla, coontail, and milfoil in this lake as well. This deeper stuff should be mostly all hydrilla. I may have missed the point. I may have missed the drop off there, Mike.
Don't miss the point. Please don't miss the point today.
Don't miss the point. All right, let's reset and try that crap again. I'm going to go right over the top of a point that comes up pretty high, pretty shallow. You can see it starting to climb, and we should start to see there's some grass right there, all the way out in almost 20 foot of water. Okay, so what I want to look for now, I know I've got tall grass out here. Boy, that's hard to fish unless you're going to punch it. So right off the bat, I don't want to start punching right away. Now, as the sun gets up, we'll probably do some punching today. But right here, you see there's my inside line. That's what I'm looking for. Right in that 11-foot range that we create a gap. Well, now I can fish that with a lot of different baits. Chatterbait, a swim bait, a trap. There's all kinds of things we can fish in that gap right there. And I bet as we go down the other side of this point, I bet we have the same thing again. You can see it going almost to the surface in this really shallow water across the top of this point. Yeah. Oh, and look at that steep drop. Mike, look how steep that drops off right there, buddy.
Oh, wow.
See that? And then there's that same gap again.
That's almost vertical.
Same gap again, guys. So what we're going to concentrate on right off the bat, we're going to stay between 4 and 10 foot of water, keep our baits between 4 and 10 foot of water, and throw moving baits. Throw our chatterbaits, throw our swim baits, maybe even that grass spoon that we've been talking about a lot lately. That's a good option here. But that's kind of how we're going to start off our attack, and hopefully we'll show you some fish here in a minute. Oh, you can. It don't bother me though. I'm not one of them types. You can come fish right here if you want to. that tree down there either.
Directly behind the swinging
On the old jig, the football jig? On the old football jig, way out there.
on the bluff wall.
Woohoo!
Summertime hammer.
Oh, Brandy Candy!
Hey, we're not saying the name of the lake.
Brandy Candy, that's the name of my jig.
Oh, Brandy Candy.
Brandy Candy. There she is. First fish of the day.
It's taking long enough.
First fish of the day on the old sand tone.
Hey, you're gonna have to get that one real close to the camera.
And this poor fish right here has got completely busted jaw in the front. It's almost like crawfish pinchers in the front. See that?
Oh my God!
Poor fish. Chomp that jig real good. Ah. Little pound and a halfer. Thank you.
Long, skinny one.
Santone.
Guys, this is not the exact same spot, but we're on the same point that we showed you this morning on the graph. Showed you the grass lines on it. And we've been fishing around. We fished up on the inside grass line. We went to another spot, fished another grass line, came back to this point because this point is such a big, obvious main lake structure. And really the first time we fished the outside line on this point, and not too long into it, got a good bite. So hopefully we can kind of, that's a puzzle piece. We can maybe focus in that 20-foot of water range to 25 on the outside edge of the grass. And maybe we can dial something in, huh?
That's what I'm hoping. That's the first real deep area that I've thrown that jig into. And by the way, I'm throwing a 3/4 ounce sand tone jig in heavy grass. And I imagine some of you kind of puzzled by that. Don't be afraid to throw a big heavy jig in heavy grass because it's going to punch in and out of it, fall down in the pockets a lot better instead of just sitting and embedding in the top of it. There's a time and a place that I want to just tick the top of it, and there's a time and place when I just want to raise heck with it. So don't be afraid to throw a big heavy jig in heavy grass, especially when you're deep. You're chasing bait. I'd probably eat a fluke. There he is. Here it is. Get it ready.
Get it. So it's
He's
going.
on it.
Go.
He's on it. Big one. It's a good fish.
Look at McFarlandFishing.com.
Come here,
on the
baby!
first cast.
Oh,
That's a Mikey Mac, you got wound up like a son of a gun.
I love it.
Look.
See where that fish went? Right down in the hall. It's like tournament days. Found them.
Hey,
When you find them like that and you throw it, flip in the first cast, it don't even last 20 seconds.
Camera, I got stuff to do.
Game on, baby. Game on. Coming right at you. That's how they're supposed to eat a jig too, man. Knock 4 feet of slack in the line and I had to reel. God, that water's hot.
Let's freaking go, son.
I had to reel like 4 cranks before you saw me set that hook.
Calm down. Calm down.
Oh yeah. Relax, man. That's game on.
I'm saying tall.
Kathy, you need to call your boy. Call me, Kathy.
Come on, Kathy. Come on.
Mike,
Who loves you?
Would you tell Kathy to call your boy Billy?
Come on. Sandtone, baby. Sandtone's football jigs, Sandtone swim jigs, Sandtone grass jigs, Sandtone spinner baits, Sandtone buzz baits. American made, the best. The very best. And I know, you know who would love them? Mr. Donald J. Trump. You suck!
Talking to you. That was 100% a big fish. God dang it!
We're going to do a little quick. This ain't going to be a Guides Network episode, but this is going to be a Guides Network insert viewer request version on today's episode. I've had a guy that's been asking me, forgive me for not knowing your name offhand, but you've been asking me, how do you follow an outside grass line with no map to help you with contours? I'm fixing to show you right now. Today we're on a lake, we've got hydrilla.
Bruh.
Edit. Today we're on a lake, we've got hydrilla growing out to about 20 foot of water. Anywhere between 17 and 20 foot of water is where our grass stops. Now we saw that on our graph, but you want to know how to do that without.
Today I'm using a 6XD because I can get that 6XD down to 16 to 18 feet. I can get that bait down to 16 to 18 feet the way I have it set up today. But I really prefer to use, especially with shallower grass, if it's growing out to 10 feet or maybe the outside grass line's in less water than that, I like to start with a trap or a chatterbait. Really, chatterbait's my favorite. Rattle trap probably being second favorite. But you want to take a tool, a bait, that you can throw in the grass, rip, and have it come out so you don't waste your cast, but yet you can still feel that grass. So what I'll do is right here we've got a point that extends out. There's a grass line. We're actually sitting right on the edge of the grass line right here where I am this far out offshore. So we're sitting right now in 19 foot of water. This is right on the outside edge, and I know that from fishing today. But what I would do is I would start up shallow with a chatterbait, and I would throw it in there and I'd let it fall all the way to the bottom. If I feel grass, I'll move further out until I quit feeling grass. Once I get past 10 feet, okay, once I get past what I feel like is about 10 foot deep, I'm going to start going to a 12-foot diving crankbait, which for that I use the 6 Sense MD250. Or once you get a little bit deeper outside of 15 feet, I'm going to go to a 5XD, 6XD by Strike King. Also, the 300 DD series by 6 Sense Lures will also achieve around that 15 to 17 foot depth as well. But what I'm going to do, guys, this is the big key right here, is constant variance of my cast, constantly fan casting. So if I think my line is up there, I know there's grass up there, I'm going to throw it up there, and I'm going to reel it until I feel grass. And as soon as I feel grass, which is right now, I'm going to rip it out, and that's going to rip in further because that's how things go on camera. It doesn't always rip out on these build baits, okay? I'll go ahead and warn you. Okay, so I've identified that grass line's up there, right? So I'll go ahead, if that grass hangs up on there, let's just reel it in, and look, here, the grass shook off just now. So now I'm going to throw it a little bit further out this way. I'm going to crank it down, see if I feel grass. I'm going to keep going, keep going, keep going. There's a little bit of grass. So I felt that grass on my bait, jerked it out. Now it's free. It's coming free. It's coming clean. Here it comes. I never felt any grass. So now I know that grass line is right out there in about that 16 to 18 foot depth. That's going to be where my grass really starts fading because I did not catch it on that crankbait. See, shook the grass off. There it is, clean as a whistle. All right. So that's a real quick, down and dirty, simple explanation. But that's what you do. You find a bait that's a rip baiting grass, a chatterbait, a trap, a build crankbait of some sort that will grab that grass and rip free, and you just have to explore. That's the only way to do it efficiently. The other two hints that I can give you is, one, pay attention to your contours on your land. If you look directly to my right, your left, there's a point sticking out right there. That's going to give you a clue that this land is going to come out, and it's going to be a point that extends out into the main lake, right? That's going to give you that first clue that you know, the depth is going to extend out this way. The shallow water is going to extend out this way, and so is your grass line. So that's one thing you do, is pay attention to the contours of the land. Look for the steeper sloping banks, the grass line will be tighter. The flatter banks, the grass line will extend further out. And the other thing, you can follow a lot of contours without having to have a map if you learn what trees look like on a creek channel. That creek channel is going to echo the bank 90% of the time. And if you'll learn that the bigger, in East Texas, we call them live oaks, these stumps that are bigger in circumference, and I actually even know what a live oak bark looks like and all that. If I can see the tops of stumps, I can follow a creek channel without ever looking at my map. So get to learn your trees, and as a general rule of thumb, the bigger circumference trees are going to grow right on the edge of your creek channels, which is going to correlate to your elevation changes. So you can actually use that to follow if you don't have a map. So there's a couple quick tips. I really hope that helps you. I hope that answers your question. I appreciate you guys commenting. If anybody else has something they want to see, they want to know about, please comment below. Give me a text, give me a call, whatever you want to do to reach out to me. Let me know what you want to learn, and I will do my very best to teach you. I certainly don't know it all. I'm not an expert on everything, but whatever I got, I'm more than willing to share. Appreciate you guys watching as always. So we're attempting to call our shot here. This is where Mike caught one of the fish earlier on the first cast we pulled in, and we just pulled up back over here, and there's another 6 to 8 fish kind of grouped up in one little spot down here. So I told Mike, we were on our way to go film an instructional segment, and I told Mike, I said, well, since we're right here, just step up there and fire one cast, see what happens.
I'm gonna fire one more.
You're gonna have one more. Yeah, you gotta have one cast to get the boat set up right.
Yeah, my next one will be where I want it. Okay, baby, it's right here.
It's gonna happen?
Open. There in there and I'm gonna bring my jig right through them if they'll bite it.
They were in there, you know, not stuck down, glued in sleep mode either, like the other ones we've been seeing. We've seen a lot of fish on the graph today that are just resting on the bottom. They're so tight to it. But there was a couple in this group that were up off the bottom a little bit. One of them had a big green arch on him. He looked really good. See if I can go back and show you guys what it looked like on the graph. If I've got enough backlog on here, we might be able to show you. There they are. There they are right there. See that one big one right there? And then here's another good one and a couple little ones with him, several little ones with him. But that one's the one that really intrigues us right there. And that one's pretty good too. All right, I done showed them on the graph. It's a must now. You got to catch them, Mike.
One more, baby. Right down that chute. It's clean.
Right down that clean chute. That's what we're fishing, guys, where there's grass growing out in this deep water, 14, 15 foot on this part of the lake, 20 foot on the other side. And there's a little stretch right in here, we're calling it a clean chute. And that's exactly what it is. It's a lane in the middle of this creek where there's no grass growing and there's some timber. And those fish are chasing bait out there. Ain't chasing real hard. It's been a grind today.
Yeah, it's that hot temperature.
There's just a few. Yeah, the water temp right here is about 102. So
look at how beautiful, bright green,
some clean hydrilla right
clean. God.
Mike, you failed the call your shot challenge.
Hadn't been much of a call a shot kind of day.
We caught three fish all day.
We had one of the 3 fish that I caught was a call it. And it was a perfect call it. We really thought it was going to go. But
Wait a minute. Let me rephrase that. He's caught 3 fish all day. I have fallen asleep at the wheel on one that tried to jerk my jig out of my hand when I wasn't paying attention. And I should have definitely caught that fish. That was 100% my fault. And I'll be honest with you, it's bothering me a little bit right now.
Oh, I watched you get bothered by it. No doubt.
It upset me.
On a tough day like that, we don't one
Woo,
fish.
Man.
One fish on a day like today is less on the king.
Hey, we had great efforts. So we were on the right kind of fish. I think we were doing the right things too.
I do too. I wouldn't, if I go back and do anything different. I don't know, there'd be some minor things I would change about today, but I am at the full conclusion with the water temperature, the moon phase that we're in, feeding